All right, good morning. I'm going to be looking at a few, well, not probably not even a few, maybe only one word this morning, but continuing to look at different words in the Bible. Today's word, or at least the one I'm going to start with, I don't know how far I'll get because I've only got a few minutes, but Abib, which I don't know. Let's check and see if that's even the way to pronounce that. It's Abib. Let's see if that's how it's pronounced or not. I don't know. Uh, Here we go. Get our pronouncer. Abib. Abib. Okay. So we're going to be looking at the word Abib this morning. Um, and let's see, that stands, Abib is an ear of corn, but it's also called Nisan, which is the first month in the Jewish calendar. Exodus chapter 12, verse 21. Let's go over and look at Exodus chapter 12, verse 21. Exodus chapter 12, verse 21. Exodus chapter 12, verse 21 says, Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said to them, Go and take for yourselves lambs according to your families and slay the Passover lamb. Okay, that didn't make any sense. Oh, that's because I got the verse wrong. It's Exodus chapter 12, verse 2. Let's try the correct verse. Exodus chapter 12, verse 2 is, This month shall be the beginning of months for you. It is to be the first month of the year to you. Okay. Well, I don't see the word used in there at all. And then Passover instituted and Israelites depart from Egypt in Exodus chapter 23, verse 15. Exodus chapter 23, verse 15. You shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. For 7 days you were to eat unleavened bread, as I commanded you at the appointed time in the month of Abib. There we go. We got the word being used in this verse. In the month of Abib. For in it you came out of Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty handed. All right. And now Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 1. Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 1 says, Observe the month of Abib and celebrate the Passover to the Lord your God. For in the month of Abib, the Lord your God brought you out of Egypt by night. So there's Abib being used again. And it's also tabernacle was set up in, I guess, this month, Exodus chapter 40, verse 2. So let's go back to Exodus. I'm finding very interesting things going through these different word studies. Words that I would never slow down long enough as I'm reading through the Bible to even stop and look at. So, Exodus chapter 40, verse 2. On the first day of the first month, you shall set up the tabernacle of the temple of the tent of meeting. So it doesn't actually say the word Abib in that verse, but it appears to be referring to it. And also verse 17. Now it came about in the first month of the second year, on the first day of the month, that the tabernacle was erected. All right, so apparently the tabernacle was set up in the month of Abib. The Israelites arrive at the wilderness of Zin in the month of Abib, and Numbers chapter 20, verse 1. So let's jump over to Numbers chapter 20, verse 1. Numbers chapter 20, verse 1. Then the sons of Israel, the whole congregation, came to the wilderness of Zin in the first month, and the people stayed at Kadesh. Now Miriam died there and was buried there. Okay, again, the word Abib is not used, but it is talking about the first month. Enter Canaan in Joshua chapter 4, verse 19. Joshua chapter 4, verse 19. Almost there. Now the people came up from the Jordan on the 10th of the first month and camped at Gilgal on the eastern edge of Jericho. Okay, again, Abib not being mentioned, but the first month is mentioned. And then Jordan's overflow in First Chronicles chapter 12, verse 15. First Chronicles chapter 12, verse 15. Almost there. Now, these are the ones who crossed the Jordan in the first month when it was overflowing all its banks, and they put to flight all those in the valleys, both to the east and to the west. Okay. Well, again, the word Abib not being used there, but again, the first month being referred to. So there you go. There's a little short and sweet. Now, only about probably not even 10 minutes worth, but a little short and sweet. Couple of verses talking about the word Abib, which pretty much appears to be referring to the month of the first month of the Jewish calendar, which is also called Nisan, not Nisan, but Nisan. Let's see, we've got another AB word would be the word Abida, which means the Father knows. This appears as Abida in the King James Version in Genesis chapter 25, verse 4. And it also refers to a son of Midian and grandson of Abraham and Keturah in Genesis chapter 25, verse 4. So it's just only two verses. I still got about 5 minutes. So let's look at those two verses. I think it was Genesis chapter 25, verse 4. Genesis chapter 25, verse 4. And the sons of Midian were Ephah and Epher and Hanok and Abida and Aldah. All these were the sons of Keturah. So that's, Abida is being listed there. And the Abida means the Father knows. I don't know if I said that or not. And then in First Chronicles chapter 1, verse 33, it's also listed. First Chronicles. First Chronicles chapter 1, verse 33. First Chronicles chapter 1, verse 33 says, and the sons of Keturah, Abraham's concubine, whom she bore, were Zimran, Jokshan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. And the sons of Jokshan were Sheba and Dedan. Okay, I did not see the word used there. First Chronicles chapter 1, verse 33. Chapter 1, verse 33. Oh, it's because I read the wrong verse again. 33. And the sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Eldah. All these were the sons of Keturah. So there we go. Abida listed again. And you know what? I might not even be pronouncing the word right. So let's check that out. I forgot to check the pronunciation here. So Abida. Okay, so I was saying it wrong. I was saying Abida, but it was really Abida. So anyway, that one was just somebody listed in a genealogy there. Didn't get maybe a whole lot of practical information out of that, but still it was interesting. You know, it's part of the Bible, and so therefore that makes it interesting automatically. But kind of out of time for today, so that's a couple of words there. We went over Abib, which is an ear of corn, which is also the first month of the Jewish calendar, sometimes referred to as Nisan or Nisan rather. And then we looked at, what did I say? Abida. Abida. Yeah. I was been calling it Abida, but it's Abida, which means the father knows. And it's an individual that appeared in a genealogy and a couple of Old Testament books. So that's it for today. Have a great day. We'll do it again someday, Lord willing. Here maybe tomorrow morning, we'll see. Continuing with word studies, also looking at chronological reading through the Bible. And on the weekends, when I get a chance, I'm also looking, studying through the book of John, or actually not so much the book of John. I'm in the book of John right now, but I'm looking through the Harmony of the Gospels, but I'm currently in the book of John as a part of that Harmony of the Gospels. But anyway, have a good day. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you again soon. Bye.